my name is Kate. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Kate. I just adopted two cats, Blu and Thor, that I absolutely adore. I make fashion, lifestyle, makeup related videos. So I did make a previous video about me adopting two cats. I kind of just told you guys just like the introduction of them. This video I just wanted it to be like a 10 things to consider before adopting a cat. Cats are a big responsibility and it's really important to consider things before you actually go out and adopt it because it is a big commitment. So I just want to start off and say that I am definitely not a professional. I just have experience because I've just recently, about a month ago, adopted two cats. Definitely talk to a professional if you have any serious questions. Or any questions at all, actually. You know, talk to a vet, talk to the adoption agency, and just talk to a professional. So the first thing to consider before getting a cat is definitely doing your research. Basically just the basics of how to take care of a cat, you know, when to feed them, when to take care of their litter, to play with them, just research stuff like that. You also need to know what kind of vaccinations they need, when to get them neutered. All that stuff needs to be in consideration before you adopt. Also, when doing your research, you want to consider their age. So if you have a kitten, you will be taking a lot more time to train them. Whereas, you know, with older cats, that kind of fit mine and Taylor's lifestyle more, having an adult cat. Also, depending on what kind of breed cat you have, you need to make sure that you know how to take care of it. So Blu is our medium/long-haired cat. Before we adopted him, I researched ways to take care of a long-haired cat. You know, how often do they need to be groomed? Do they need to be shaved? Do I need to go bring them to groomers? That is something that you need to know before getting a long-haired cat. And, you know, because the grooming takes a little bit more work. So the second thing to consider before you get a cat is, are you responsible enough? Having a cat is a big responsibility. Having any animal at all is a big responsibility. It's a life that you are taking care of that just isn't your own, and you need to take into consideration the vet bills that are gonna occur and other expenses such as food, items that they'll need, litter, all that stuff needs to be taken into consideration. You need to make sure that you are able to afford a cat. Also, along with that, if they're on a feeding schedule, you need to go home and feed them. You can't just like stay out and about and do whatever you want. You need to make sure that you're at home to feed them in the morning, making sure that you're responsible to take care of a litter box daily and give them fresh water and play with them. And it's a big responsibility. You know, set up vet appointments if they're sick and keep an eye on them, you know, for any behavioral changes or changes in their, you know, if they stop eating or if they're overeating or if they're not drinking water or if they're not urinating. Like, you have to be responsible to notice changes. So the third thing to consider is, can you make that commitment? Cats can live up until they're 20 years old. Some cats live beyond 20. And so we adopted two cats that are 3 years old, and we're making that commitment for another 20 years. Like, we fully committed to that. We fully understood what that means, what that entitles, and before getting a pet, you really need to take that into consideration. So the basic supplies for cats: you need to have food, a litter box, grooming equipment, plenty of toys that they can play with. Our cats are indoor cats, so they get bored of toys really easily. So we have like a little container where we kind of alternate their toys. So like, we'll play with them like with the laser for like a week and then they'll get bored. So then we put it away for like 2 weeks and we bring it out and they're really excited and they're happy. Yeah, so having plenty of, you know, the basic supplies of food and what you need, and definitely talk to a vet or their foster home to see what kind of food that they should be given, how often they should be given. But yeah, you definitely need those basic supplies in your home. So when you first newly adopt a cat, you should bring it to the vet for a wellness check within 2 weeks of having that newly adopted cat. Having a professional just do a wellness check is really important, and you just want to make sure that they're up to date on their vaccinations, if they're neutered, all that stuff. So the next thing to consider is to prepare your home for the cats. So if you live with other people, make sure that they know that you're getting them. You know, like I said before, have the litter box set up so when you get home with them, You can train them where to go. We already had cat doors in place, so we have little cat doors in the house for them. We already have those in place. We are still working on training them to use them, but they're very smart cats. So having a plan for when you travel is very important. Taylor and I definitely took this into consideration before we got the cats. We wanted to make sure that we have someone that will watch them when we want to go on our vacations and stuff. That's just something that like people probably don't think about until they're planning a vacation, but definitely try to think about that before you commit to a cat. Another question to take into consideration is how busy is your lifestyle? Are you never home? Cats in general, they need a lot of attention. You know, they need to be fed multiple times a day. They need their litter taken care of. They need attention, playtime, have time for them, basically. You know, if your lifestyle is too busy, it might not be a good idea to get an animal. Another question to take in consideration is if you have other animals at home or if you have young children. So for us personally, with the adoption shelter that we went through, on the listing of them, it said that they would only do well with laid-back cats. So if I ended up adopting these 2 cats and then getting 2 other kittens, they might not do well because, you know, the adoption center had them in a foster home. They know their personality, they know how they are, and it just wouldn't be very, like, respectful or nice to do that. So definitely take in consideration, you know, when adopting a cat, ask the adoption center questions, you know, will they do good with young children? Will they do okay with cats? Will they do okay with a dog? Asked the foster parent a ton of questions because I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was getting myself into, you know, asking if they're vocal because then I know, you know, if they weren't vocal and then they got here and they were super vocal, then something could be wrong. And definitely just knowing their personality. We wanted to know if we were gonna get energetic. I mean, we were okay if we got energetic cat or a laid-back cat, but some people's lifestyles are different and they might just only want a laid-back cat, or if they have kids, they might want a more energetic cat or something. But we also knew that we wanted a bonded pair of cats. Also say that we are their whole world, and I love my little Blu and Thor. They're so sweet. They're so awesome. I am going to be doing a more detailed adoption process video, so tune into that probably in the next couple weeks. But yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.